Thursday, January 15th.
Rate hikes back to back are going to come as a huge blow to businesses.
Groups are urging SaskPower against planned rate hikes.
Southern Saskatchewan, Southern Alberta have the best solar resource in all of Canada.
SaskPower has now signed onto a deal for a 100 megawatt solar power facility near Lejourde.
Takes it around the net, wraps it around. Good stop by Schlenker. Back at the line for Swift Current.
And Merrick Schlenker and the Pats slam the door shut on the Swift Current Broncos. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Saskatchewan. Welcome to Saskatchewan. Welcome to your morning, Saskatchewan, or welcome to Saskatchewan if you're visiting. I'm Daryl.
I'm Janelle. Thank you for being here with us.
My trash can did not travel nearly as far as you claimed it was going to yesterday.
Okay, today is likely the day that
round two.
Oh, round two. Here we go. There is a yellow advisory.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's that all about?
It's all about that. So we're supposed to reach close to 45 kilometer per hour wind speeds today across Saskatchewan.
Maybe if Kayleen goes outside, it'll blow her flu away. That'd be wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful thing. Hope she gets better soon. If she's watching, she probably is, because I don't think she can sleep. Let's get to news. It's been a busy start to Prime Minister Mark Carney's visit to China. On the first day of meetings, Canada and China have signed 6 cooperation agreements. The agreements cover areas like energy, forestry, food safety, and crime. As the two countries look to reestablish ties, the Prime Minister said this morning, quote, "We are bringing this relationship back toward where it should be."
We are very much looking forward to the meetings between President Xi and Prime Minister Carney and Premier Li and Prime Minister Carney as well.
Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand this morning met with her Chinese counterpart. China's top diplomat called Prime Minister Carney's visit pivotal on resetting ties. Prime Minister Carney has meetings with the second and third most powerful officials in China. He will also hold talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping tomorrow. According to Danish officials, there is a fundamental disagreement over Greenland, but they are open to continuing the conversation with the U.S.
We have decided to form a high-level working group to explore if we can find a common way forward. The group, in our view, should focus on how to address the American security concerns, while at the same time respecting the red lines of the Kingdom of Denmark.
The Foreign Affairs Minister from both Denmark and Greenland met with Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Washington yesterday. The two sides agreed to disagree for the moment, vowing to create a working group to talk about the issues. The group is expected to meet within a couple of weeks. The ministers also made it clear that Washington hasn't budged on its position to acquire Greenland, something they are calling an unacceptable breach of sovereignty. U.S. President Donald Trump wasn't at the meeting, but once again said the U.S. needs Greenland for its national security.
I find it unsettling, and I don't even know the word in English. Yeah, it's a real threat.
The possible takeover of Greenland is leaving many people living in Canada's Arctic on edge. A Greenlander we spoke to now lives in Iqaluit says she believes the United States, if successful in annexing Greenland, Canada's north could be next. The Arctic is vital for North American security. Last year, the federal government pledged billions of dollars in new defense spending. The U.S. ambassador to Canada says the two countries are aligned in their commitment to protecting the north. There is even a deal between Canada, the U.S., and Finland to build icebreakers. Still, experts say asserting security and sovereignty must also include efforts to build and grow strong communities. RCMP have launched an investigation in the Prince Albert area. Jeremy Dodge is following this. We say good morning to him.
Good morning, Daryl. RCMP looking for a man after 2 people were shot at, assaulted, and chased into the forest near Prince Albert. RCMP say January 7th, 3 a.m. They were called after a fight between 3 people inside a vehicle in the RM of Buckland. One of them assaulted the other 2 before taking them into a forested area. RCMP say the suspect pointed the gun and fired. No one was injured. The victims ran further into the forest to get away and became lost. Using a drone, RCMP were able to find one of them and guide him to safety. A police dog, as well as the drone, were enlisted to find the other victim. She was found inside an SUV. Both were okay. RCMP are now looking for 30-year-old Justin Charles from Prince Albert. He's facing a string of weapons and assault charges. Anyone who knows where he is should contact RCMP. Now, Prince Albert City Council is discussing a possible public safety reserve to support police work through community fundraising. The proposed reserve would be used to support policing efforts. City councillors say local businesses have expressed interest in the idea. In a letter, the Prince Albert Board of Police Commissioners stated that while the police service and the board cannot participate in the creation or promotion of a privately funded reserve, it may be able to access reserve funds through a transparent application process.
It came up during budget time, and then, of course, that went back to the police commission, and they forwarded off a letter to us, and now we've asked administration to come up with some options that could be possible.
The matter is to be examined by the city's Financial Services Department. Well, Daryl, we have an update from a fire at a local Regina business.
Yeah, this one happened over the weekend. The investigation from Regina Protective Services and Fire determined that the blaze at the Country Corner Donuts was accidental, caused by a commercial appliance failure. Fire crews arrived at the establishment about 5 in the morning on Monday. The owner is already there trying to put the flames out himself with a fire extinguisher. Crews were able to get it under control quickly. There was significant smoke damage, although fire damage was contained to the small area where it started. A 4-person crew that ended its mission on the ISS early is now back on Earth.
Splashdown of Crew 11, splashing down off the coast of California. That splashdown coming right on time at 2:41 a.m.
Or Crew 11 on board the Dragon Endeavour. These astronauts arrived at the International Space Station in August, expecting to stay for 6 months. NASA decided to bring the crew home a month early after one of its members became sick. NASA didn't give any details about the illness, except to say it was not an emergency. SaskPower has signed on to a deal for a 100-megawatt solar facility near Lejourdre. SaskPower has signed an agreement to build and operate the indigenous-run facility. It will be one of the province's largest solar arrays, generating enough electricity to power 30,000 Saskatchewan homes on average.
Southern Saskatchewan, Southern Alberta have the best solar resource in all of Canada. It's an excellent solar resource, some of the best in the region. And so SaskPower targeted South Central Saskatchewan where they wanted the procurement to take place. And so that's where we began our prospection in order to site the project.
The project was chosen through a procurement process led by the First Nations Power Authority over the past 2 years. A blast of winter weather is blowing through Ontario, Quebec, and parts of New Brunswick today, bringing frigid, cold temperatures and a whole lot of snow.
It's painful. It's so cold.
I botched out here, and that was a bad idea.
Better there than here, right? There are a number of warnings in place this morning, including a yellow snowfall warning for much of Ontario and snowfall and winter storm warnings in Quebec. Some areas could see up to 30 centimeters of snow. And it's a very different story, of course, here in Saskatchewan with above seasonal temperatures. Many getting out to enjoy the weather, but farmers are getting a little nervous. Keenan Sorikon reports.
Bob Bahoon has farmed long enough to know what untimely weather could mean for his operation. After 4 consecutive days of above freezing temperatures, the Hafford area farmer fears this January melt might impact seeding.
It depends how quick the weather warms up. A fast melt will make the water run, or a slow melt it will still soak into the ground where it needs to be for our drier climates.
With winters becoming warmer and spring arriving earlier, what was once an afternoon of warm temperatures has become the full 5-day forecast in recent years.
Last year was the
looks like to be the third warmest year ever recorded, and the other two were within the past 3 years. So this is all part of that trend.
U of S hydrologist John Pomeroy says extended cold snaps of -30 to -40 throughout the winter are no longer the norm, and it's impacting farmland. A midwinter melt followed by cold temperatures could create a layer of ice above the soil, creating runoff instead of penetrating moisture for crop production. But replenishing sloughs and creeks has its own benefits.
Even the evaporation out of those ponds can help drive summer rainfall events and keep recycling to the atmosphere, and so it gets used by nature one way or the other.
Some farmers are optimistic the wet snow will make for favorable seeding conditions.
I think it'll make easier in the spring. The moisture might stay where it is. It seals off. It shouldn't blow anymore.
Pomeroy says a slow melt over many weeks is what farmers will be looking for to ease any concerns this weather system may have introduced. And that's exactly the type of conditions Bohun has been imagining all winter long.
We'd like a nice slow melt and have a soak in versus a total runoff.
Keenan Sorokan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, the Regina Pats picked up their third win in a row last night.
By Darby, Kuryachenkov has a breakaway to the backhand, stopped by Schlenker. Lancer drop pass Karimov, walks in to the backhand, out of the forehand, scores!
Marek Schlenker picked up his first career shutout and an assist, and the Pats beat the Swift Current Broncos, beat the doors off them 7-0 last night. Ruslan Karimov led the way with 2 goals and an assist for Regina.
Back up top, Brzezinski a shot, he scores!
The Blades dropped their second in a row, falling 3-1 to the Brandon Wheat Kings last night. Grayson Brzezinski, who you saw there, scored a goal, had an assist for Brandon as well.
Away, centered for Van Hanen, finds its way to Liski, snap to Bear, he scores!
And the Moose Jaw Warriors continue to struggle on their U.S. road trip. They dropped their third in a row, falling this time 8-3 to the Everett Silvertips. Everett has won 4 straight, and they are atop the Western Conference. Let's turn our attention to all that wind you keep promising, Janelle.
Well, today is the day. We're starting off with some beautiful temperatures. We'll show that coming up here. But again, we are expecting to see that wind increase, especially later this morning and into the afternoon. Now, let's look at our current temperature right here in Regina, 0 degrees. Those winds are about 32 kilometers per hour. We are expecting to see some sunshine today as well. However, snow is forecasted as well. And Saskatoon looking rather dark, 1 degree and 28 kilometer per hour winds. Let's take a look now at what we can expect hour by hour today. So as you can see here, those numbers are high. Environment Canada has put out a yellow warning for the wind. This will cover most of southern Saskatchewan. So that is something to be mindful of. Those temperatures look beautiful, but that wind is going to gradually pick up. Now for our currents across the province, Stony Rapids at -10, Buffalo Narrows 4 degrees, La Ronge and South End 3 degrees, Spiritwood and Prince Albert sitting at 4. The Battlefords 3, Kindersley and Swift Current 2 degrees, Estevan right at that 0 mark, and Yorkton 2. Now for our highs today, the Battlefords at about 4 degrees, Prince Albert 3 along with Yorkton, Estevan 2 along with Swift Current. As you can see here, we are expecting those flurries throughout Saskatchewan. Not a ton of snow. We'll get more into that coming up here, but we are expecting to see some precipitation. All right, for today here on our 7-day forecast in Regina, we're seeing that high of about 1 degree. Again, those 48 kilometer per hour winds are expected. As we get into the weekend, however, we will start to see everything get a little bit nicer out. So those temperatures on Saturday about -10 and on Sunday -17. As we get into next week, we'll kick things off Monday with -15 and some sunshine, and Tuesday -8, expecting to see a little bit more snow on the way. Over to Saskatoon now, 0 degrees as the high, 48 kilometer per hour winds, and seeing some of that snow coming. Now this is coming later in the morning and early into the afternoon. Over the weekend, -6 on Saturday, Sunday -17. We'll start a fresh week on Monday, -16, seeing more sunshine, much calmer wind speeds as well. Expected about 6 kilometer per hour winds on that Monday. Tuesday, we'll see some more cloud cover in the sky, but still nice temperatures, -9 as the high.
Abused for years by a monster.
Why isn't anybody coming?
Behind the worst mass killing in Canadian history.
As soon as he said it's too late, I thought I need help.
Sunday night, right after the game on CTV and Crave.
In case you missed it, have you ever wanted to go off the grid for a few days? Well, there's a new app that might think you're dead if you do.
Oh my.
What?
Yes. So this is called the Are You Dead app, and it's for people who live alone. It's gone viral in China with surging downloads, prompting the company to introduce a subscription fee. The company behind it says it's designed to be a safety tool created for people who live alone.
Okay, that seems like a good idea.
Great idea. The app requires you to set up one emergency contact and sends automatic notifications if the user hasn't checked in on the app for consecutive days.
Okay, so if you're forgetful, it's not a great thing.
I was going to say,
but also, did we have to call it? Did we have to call it Are You Dead?
Straight to the point.
Just on the nose. No beating around the bush there.
I fear I'd forget.
Yeah, that's the danger.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good idea.
Also, one more subscription fee for you.
I love to subscribe to things.
Love to subscribe.
Oh
my.
What a thrill.
More passwords.
That's just it, right? You got 100 passwords and then they criticize you because they're all the same.
Yeah.
Question of the day. Who is your favorite curler? On the program today, we are going to talk to tankard champion Kelly Knap and to Prairie Pinnacle champion Jolene Campbell. So we're throwing this out your way. I think I remember your answer, Jeremy, but remind everybody at home.
Well, I'm a homer, so Kelly Knap, Jolene Campbell, Mike McEwen right now are my favorites. But all time, Sandra Schmerler, right? Schmerler, the curler, no one better, ever.
That's what I thought. The rink next to, the pool next to my house that my kid takes swimming lessons in is named after Sandra, so got to go there.
Yes.
I fear this is my turn now.
All of the curlers?
I love all of the curlers.
Just all of them equally?
I love them all. Everybody is great.
So these are my favorite questions of the day because Janelle, God love her, she knows pop culture. She doesn't follow sports. So watching her pronounce these names is going to be hilarious. We want to hear from you. Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply. Scan the QR code on your screen. It's snowing like crazy in eastern Canada. Here at home, look at that. Saskatoon's nice and warm.
Hello there, Kara Wagland inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. And for it, we are off to Buffalo, where the Sabres were hosting the Flyers. Buffalo turns the puck over in their own end. Owen Tippett gets it over to Nikita Grabenkin. He is absolutely robbed by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. The Finnish goaltender sliding across to make the incredible glove save. It's a big reason why the Sabres have won 14 of 16 games. It is your must-see moment from Wednesday. And coming up tonight on TSN, it's IIHF Under-18 Women's Worlds. Canada taking on Finland. Puck drop for that one goes at 7:30 Eastern. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
When a stroke strikes, every moment counts.
Once they experience a stroke, there's a 40% chance that that person may have long-term disability.
Dr. Shu-Mei Mann with Cleveland Clinic says when a person has an acute stroke, blood clot busting medication can be given within 4.5 hours of the medical event and can allow for a good recovery.
Every minute delay can translate to worse outcomes.
But Mann says some patients aren't getting timely care. She's lead author of this study, which says delayed hospital arrivals are more common for patients who are Asian, Hispanic, and Black when compared to white patients, despite transportation times to the ER being shorter. The researchers say it could be due to language barriers and a lack of culturally tailored community stroke education about signs of stroke, which she says include vision loss, inability to speak, garbled speech, slurred speech, facial droop, weakness in the arm or leg, and unsteady gait.
We strongly recommend people to call 911 and come to the ER as soon as possible.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
All right, let's take a look at that school day forecast brought to you by CAA, School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. In Regina, by the time you get onto the bus, we'll be at that 0 degree mark. By lunchtime, starting to see some snowfall in 1 degree. And about 3 p.m., final bell, 0 degrees, and again, seeing some flurries. Over to Saskatoon now, by the time you get onto the bus, 1 degree. At lunchtime at that 0 degree mark, and still at 0 degrees by about 3 p.m., final bell, and seeing some flurries. Let's take a look over at gas prices now. The common cost to fill up in Regina is $1.18, but you can find it for as low as $1.03. And in Saskatoon, the common cost is a little higher at $1.27, and the low end is $1.17. Taking a look at the farm markets, the street price of canola is $568.02 per ton, and the futures price is $628.30 per ton. For amber durum wheat being $274.92 per ton, and red spring wheat is $251.43 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 72.06 cents US. Coming up, meet the skip of Team Saskatchewan for this year's Brier.
Welcome to your morning. It is 6:30. Public workers slowly finding out if their jobs are safe as the federal government begins to implement its plans to cut 28,000 jobs over the next 4 years.
Waiting for those emails and waiting for those messages from our management to let us know which direction they're going.
Statistics Canada was the first one we learned about as they confirmed 850 job cuts over the next 2 years, including 100 positions immediately. Shared Services Canada has also told CTV News that Ottawa has begun notifying employees about potential cuts, and we're hearing that Public Service and Procurement Canada is notifying workers later today. The goal is to reduce the size of the federal public service by 40,000 jobs through cuts, attrition, and early retirements, taking it from its peak at more than 367,000 employees in March of 2024 to 330,000 by 2029. Business advocates here at home voicing their concerns, what they call serious concerns, over SaskPower's proposed rate hike. The Canadian Federation of Independent Business says many Saskatchewan businesses cannot afford the additional financial strain. This comes after the Crown Corps announced it's seeking a 3.9% rate increase effective February of this year and another 3.9% next February. The increases still need approval from the rate review panel. In a letter obtained by CTV News, the CFIB says for small businesses and farms operating on tight margins, interim increases create immediate cost pressure and uncertainty, shifting financial risk onto the ratepayer.
Rate hikes back to back are going to come as a huge blow to businesses who are already dealing with a bunch of other cost increases. You know, they've recently seen insurance premiums skyrocket. They're dealing with increased labor and occupancy costs, and not to mention massive price volatility as they're dealing with a lot of economic uncertainty.
In response, the province says it's made decisions ensuring Saskatchewan businesses have an affordable and reliable power system while prioritizing the energy security of our province. The Saskatchewan Environmental Society says it's disappointed in a new court decision to dismiss its legal challenge against keeping coal power operating past the federally mandated shutdown in 2030. Several environmental advocacy groups, including SES, launched a legal challenge last year in response to the province's plans to keep traditional coal plants operating until as late as 2050. The extended operation is meant to help Saskatchewan bridge the gap to nuclear energy. According to the Environmental Society, the court dismissed the application on the grounds that it was not an issue for the courts to decide. Quebec will soon have a new premier after the resignation of François Legault.
J'annonce aujourd'hui que je vais quitter mon poste de Premier ministre du Québec.
Legault made the sudden announcement saying it was good for the party. With Quebec in an election year, his CAQ party sits last in the polls. Legault started the party in 2011 and won 2 majorities. The government had high-profile labor disputes with doctors, teachers, nurses, and another union. Other Quebec religious symbols bans being challenged in the Supreme Court as well. Premier Legault plans to stay in office until a new leader is chosen. The Ontario Liberal Party needs a new leader as well. Bonnie Crombie is stepping down. In a statement, she says she believes it's the right moment for herself and the party to move forward. Crombie won the Liberal leadership race in 2023 and led the party in last year's winter election, but failed to win a seat. The Ontario Liberals have said they'll choose an interim leader shortly. New drone technology could change how search and rescue teams locate missing people faster and more accurately, and a Saskatoon company is at the forefront. Carla Shinkaruk reports.
We have people from all over the world contacting us and approaching us.
And what makes this Saskatoon company that popular is this drone. And it's not just any drone, because it's helping save lives.
It really helps save a lot of time and effort from people on the ground.
It can pinpoint a missing person who might be in a remote area with this unique silver portion. It locates someone with a cell phone as far as 35 kilometers away.
That acts as a mobile cell tower to connect to and identify cell phones for missing persons.
And one of Europe's leading search and rescue organizations from Sweden is now signed on to purchase 2 of these Saskatoon drones, which can operate in harsh weather, adding to the reasons our province just makes sense to design, develop, and manufacture it all right here.
Operating in Saskatoon and Saskatchewan does give us a very good benefit of having a lot of wide open space to go do flight testing and development.
There are about 15 staff here doing most of the work, with a BC location added. In total, the company has about 50 staff.
Questions or curiosities around why Saskatoon, and our answer was always, well, that's where we live. So we're building the company and the technology where we live.
Dragonfly actually started as a model plane business in 1998 and developed with increased drone technology, proving its effectiveness. The Saskatoon Police Service has been using drones for years. They tell us that they're primarily used in searches for missing persons, to document and investigate collision scenes, to assist the fire department with aerial views of fire scenes, and they're used by special teams to assist in locating suspects.
Drone industry is always evolving, always developing.
For this company, the sky's the limit, with plans for more advancement in drone technology. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Here I thought Dragonfly was just that company that brought all my wife's Amazon packages to the door. The more you know. Let's talk sports. Saskatoon-born Emily Clark is eagerly preparing for her return to the international stage. She'll be on Team Canada's roster for the 3rd time at the Olympics this February, taking home a silver medal in 2018, followed by a gold in her most recent appearance. Clark is hoping to bring another medal home when the Olympics get started next month.
I'm so proud to be from Saskatoon, and I feel the love. I see the messages. You know, I'm bad at replying to my own family, so please don't take it personal if you send me a message and I don't get back to you. But no, just that it's felt and it's appreciated and never taken for granted.
Team Canada will head to Italy soon, with the opening ceremony set for February 6th. CFL Commissioner Stuart Johnston addressed the media Wednesday, discussing some of the proposals made by the Rules Committee during the CFL's winter meetings. Among the recommendations, we're talking about returning the contentious 35-second play clock to 20 seconds for the final 3 minutes, ensuring no lead is safe. If a team kicks the football through the end zone or hits the uprights, the other team will start with the ball on the 40-yard line. The replay center will only jump in for clear and obvious missed calls by referees or for any coach's challenge, and there will no longer be any ties. If there is no winner after 2 mini games, the game continues with a new challenge.
Under a new format, then each team would get 1 shot at what we would call a 2-point conversion, or just the 2-point format, where you're on the 3-yard line and you've got to get it into the end zone. Team A tries. If they're successful, Team B tries. If they're successful, you go again. If Team B is unsuccessful, then the game is over and Team A wins. Now, there are some details we still need to work out, and that'll happen over these next couple months before ultimately we make the final recommendation to the board.
All recommendations made this week would still need approval by the Board of Governors, as you heard there, to be considered an official change. An ancient Roman home more than 2,000 years old has opened up to the public, well, kind of. While a lot of the ground floor no longer exists, the underground floor is full of wonders. Take a look at your screen. The problem is that it's down a narrow staircase, so the Colosseum Archaeological Park came up with this idea of a live-streamed guided tour system. A guide with a camera strapped to their head goes down, and everything the camera sees is played for guests upstairs with an expert's explanation. So would you pay for a tour where you kind of get there?
Absolutely. Yeah. That looks great.
It's neat. They're unearthing stuff every day. What's going on with all this wind?
Well, we are unearthing some wind here in this weather center today. We're going to get into that and when we can expect to see those speeds climb. But first, let's look at this current temperature. Still at about that 0-degree mark right here in Regina, 32 km/h winds. Now, once the sun does rise, we will be seeing a little bit of it. However, we are expecting a cloudier day with some flurries on the way as well. Over to Saskatoon now, 1 degree, 28 km/h winds. And again, some flurries on the way, which you'll notice is for most of Saskatchewan as well. So that is something to expect this afternoon. Let's look at these wind gusts now. So we are still starting off pretty strong. This is an hour-by-hour look at what we can expect to see as the day goes on. Once again, there is that yellow warning for wind put out by Environment Canada. That will be covering most of southern Saskatchewan, and you'll really be able to start to see these speeds climb as we get later on into the morning and earlier into the afternoon. For our current temperatures, Buffalo narrows at 4 degrees along with Spiritwood, Hudson Bay 1, Nipawin and South End at 3 degrees. East End 1 along with Assiniboia, Weyburn 2 degrees along with Yorkton. We've got Saskatoon again at that 1 degree mark and Wynyard -1. For our highs today, the Battlefords are expecting to see 4 degrees. Swift Current 2 along with Moose Jaw, Weyburn 3 degrees along with Yorkton. And as you can see here, flurries all around. Again, we aren't expecting to see a ton of snow, but scattered flurries are to be expected. Be careful out there. It will make things a little bit icy. For our 5-day forecast now in Regina, 1 degree as our high today. Again, seeing those flurries, those winds are expected to pick up to about 48 km/h. Now tomorrow we'll see that temperature dip a little bit, but those wind speeds are slowly coming down. On Saturday, we're kicking off the weekend with -10 and seeing a little bit more sunshine, and Sunday a little bit cooler, -17. Now for Saskatoon, 0 degrees as that high for today, around that 48 km/h wind speed as well. Tomorrow, -9 and more sunshine. Cloudier day on Saturday, -6. Sunday, -17. And we're going to kick off the next week on Monday with -16 and seeing those wind speeds calming down quite a bit. On Monday, we're expecting to see about 10 km/h gusts.
Final stone, 10th end.
Nothing but air.
He'll drive it through the hole in the 4-foot. Kelly Knap is going to steal here in the 10th. And he is your 2026 provincial champion here in Saskatchewan.
And with that, Kelly Knap will wear the green jacket at the Brier after winning the Tankard for a second time. Said this one was a little sweeter. He's in studio with us this morning, the skip of now Team Saskatchewan, as we look ahead to one of the famous events on the calendar. Kelly, how does it feel to hear that skip of Team Saskatchewan again?
Yeah, it's still pretty fresh. It's feeling pretty incredible. I don't think it's quite sunk in yet. It's been a bit of a whirlwind since the final late on Sunday there, and here we are just a little over 48 hours post. So yeah, but when you show that footage there and I see that, it kind of gives me chills, so it's pretty special.
What changed from the last time that you've come through this cycle to now? What have you learned about yourself, about your rink?
Oh, well, we had a bit of a team change this year. We lost our front end. They were just looking to step back from the game. It wasn't planned on mine and Brennan's part, but fortunately we got a couple awesome guys to fill in for them. Dustin, who was our fifth for a few years, he slotted in at second seamlessly, and then Matt Ring is our new lead, and it really just felt like we picked up where we left off. Like Trent and Mike were so valuable, but like we really felt like Dustin and Matt just fit right in. And And yeah, we just had an amazing season. I think, like personally, I just felt like my game went to the next level this year too, and that's a good feeling, just playing with confidence. I know that the end of last year we tried pretty hard to get into the trials process and just wasn't quite feeling it. The game wasn't quite there, and so it just felt really good to have a good solid year and do it with the guys.
And now you got the trophy sitting right here in front of us. Some of the names on here of people that I'm sure you admired throughout the years. Just how special is it to drive around town with this in your car, to have it in possession?
Yeah, this trophy's a little newer. It's only about 3 years old. The last time that we won the Tankard Denim 2023, it was small, a little easier to drink beer and champagne out of. This one was a little trickier. We had to help each other out,
though, right?
Oh yeah.
People like Pat Simmons, Benny Hebert, who's doing great things on the national stage. It's incredible.
It's an honor. It's very humbling to have my name on there, even once and now 2 times. It's it's still pretty surreal. If you would have told me that when I started skipping, back in 2020, that I'd already have my name on there a couple times, I would have said you're crazy.
So now you got to skip ahead. You got to have a fishbowl memory, right, and erase this and get on to the next thing, which is going to be the Brier at some point here. How do you prepare for some of those rinks on the national stage? They're very strong and been together for a very long time.
Yeah, there's no doubting that there's a lot of talent there. I'm actually quite good at that, at forgetting. Well, I just forget everything, to be honest. Like, guys will ask me what happened in this end of the last game, and I forget. I think this Tankard final is a little different. I think that one's pretty ingrained in my mind. But yeah, there's going to be a ton of talent at the Brier. Last time we were there in 2023 in London, we narrowly missed playoffs. We finished with a 4-4 record. And I honestly just feel, like I said, that I'm feeling more ready. Like, that experience is invaluable. Learned a lot just about the ice, the atmosphere, and I'm really excited for the second opportunity. I feel like we can make a run at playoffs, and yeah, there's some big dogs there that put a lot of time into the game, and they're phenomenal teams. And you have to play well. You got to get a few breaks. It's no different from like the Tankard that we just had there, but we do know if we play our game that we can curl really high percentages and we can compete with those big teams.
We're excited to see you do it, Kelly. Congratulations, and thanks for spending some time with us this morning and bringing the trophy in.
Thanks for having me. My mom and grandma love the show. They watch it every day, so they'll be pumped to watch this one.
Said mom and grandma. He didn't say himself. Back right after this.
The governments of Canada and China have signed a series of cooperation agreements, including one with the goal of expanding energy trade. But there was no mention of tariffs on canola or electric vehicles, which are currently the biggest trade irritants between Canada and China. The nations pledged to set up a ministerial dialogue on energy and explore opportunities in oil, gas, nuclear, and clean technology. Also, they will allow Canadian dog food into China. Prime Minister Mark Carney is set to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping on Friday. Taiwan's semiconductor manufacturing on Thursday announced a record capital expenditure of between $52 and $56 billion for 2026. This as it tries to ease the capacity constraint on its production facilities. About 70 to 80% of the spending will go to manufacturing equipment for cutting-edge chips, with the remainder split between chips for automotive and industrial uses and advanced packaging technologies. TSMC, which manufactures more than 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors, projects its revenue will grow nearly 30% this year. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
It's January 15th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy 10th birthday to Cade. This is coming from your mom, dad, Naya, and Blakely, who love you very much. More birthday wishes going out to Joan, your family and friends. Hope you have a great day. And happy belated 14th birthday to Jersey. Lots of love from your mom, dad, and siblings. And a very happy birthday going out to Scott today from all of your family and friends.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have milestones coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can scan that QR code on your screen. Please make sure to send them at least one day in advance.
It's the important part, Chase. People keep sending birthdays to the wrong email address and saying, why don't you run our birthdays? Because we changed the show email. What's going on the radio?
Sorry, I keep on sending you birthday messages to the wrong email, Daryl.
I keep printing to your office. I've printed so much stuff.
I have it locked now, though.
Oh, what's going on the radio?
Today we are talking some game shows. Actually, it was just announced yesterday on their socials. Hunter Brothers are going to be playing The Feud. They're on Family Feud coming up next month. Going to be exciting. I got the details up on our Facebook page. But we're asking you today, if you're on Family Feud, you're doing fast money, and you can have one country artist out there, who are you taking? Who are you putting on your team? You can text over 54321. And we'll call it another name, too, for Pure Access to get you all those concert tickets for 2026 coming up at 7:10. So make sure you're entered at purecountry927.ca.
I don't know. I've seen you play the jug with the Washboard Union. I think that qualifies you as a country artist, and that makes you my pick.
There we go. We would lose that $10,000 together.
So fast. So fast.
The Beatles have been my whole life, really. When we split up, I thought, I'll never write another note of music ever.
He did, of course. Man on the Run looks at how Paul McCartney followed up the Fab Four by forming Wings with his wife Linda. The documentary by Oscar and Grammy winner Morgan Neville streams on Prime Video February 27th. The bidding is now open for this year's Music Cares charity relief auction. One-of-a-kind items from some of music's biggest stars are on the block, raising money to help music industry professionals who hit rough times. The live auction takes place February 1st, Grammy Sunday, at juliensauctions.com.
Calling all units. We need backup.
Owen Wilson provides the voice of Charlie the Wonder Dog. The pooch got his powers from the same aliens that turned a cat into a supervillain. And soon they're fighting like, well, you know. Charlie the Wonder Dog zooms into theaters Friday. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Guess go first.
Okay. Well, our first video is a reminder of how important it is to have a supportive partner.
What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man.
When Riley and I had a coming hairdresser. Hello? Sorry, I missed the word there. An up-and-coming hairdresser. There we go. Needed to practice styles on short hair. Her boyfriend did not hesitate to be her model, and the looks on him did not disappoint.
That's a stand-up gentleman right there.
That's lovely. Oh.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Fantastic curl.
I don't know who's still getting that cut, but
he is.
Wonderful.
He's getting that cut.
Now to a nursing home that's makes some interesting choices for entertainment.
1, 2, 3.
Hire Jeremy's aspiring boy band to perform for them.
Okay, so...
Go on.
This was Boythrob's first gig. They're called Boythrob. That's their name.
So
That's their first problem.
Kayleen and I follow them on TikTok. We are big Boythrob fans.
You are not.
We love them.
I have to take away your accounts. Time out. We're back after this. It's Thursday, January 15th.
A very important meeting and the most auspicious start to the new year and to a new era.
Canada and China are marking a fresh start by signing a series of cooperation agreements, but there is no word yet on easing tariffs.
Maybe it's just time to move on.
I think he didn't do that bad. At the end, he wasn't so popular.
With his party last in the polls in an election year, Quebec Premier Francois Legault has stepped down to make way for new leadership.
Runs into his man. Now shot. They score.
The Blades dulled in Brandon. WHL highlights straight ahead. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle. Thank you for being back with us.
We have updates on Boythro. If you missed it before the break, here's a little sample.
What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. I said, what a mighty good man.
So that wasn't Boythro.
No, that was Director Corey, Sleep at the Wheel.
No, that's okay.
That's what that was. That's Director Corey, Sleep at the Wheel.
We'll talk about Boythro. The morning's still young.
This is a boy band performing in L.A. Anyways, let's get to your news headlines. Oh, boy, here we go. During meetings in China this morning, Prime Minister Mark Carney said Canada is now entering a new era of relations.
This sets the stage for these important discussions on a wide range of issues where we can be strategic partners.
Prime Minister Mark Carney was welcomed by China's second and third highest ranking officials, set to meet with Xi Jinping, the president, tomorrow. Canada and China today announcing 6 cooperation agreements covering areas like energy, forestry, and more. The Prime Minister has a day filled with meetings today along with government officials. He will also be talking with business leaders about the oil, battery, and banking industries. As Prime Minister Carney holds those meetings in China this morning, Industry Minister Melanie Joly says the trip is about building stability.
As we continue these conversations, and as of course there's important diplomatic engagement, we want to make sure that this makes sense to Canadians, for Canadians, that this creates good jobs back home.
Minister Joly says despite recent tensions, China is still Canada's second biggest trading partner. Canada and China today signing a cooperation agreement on energy, and there are also other ones signed, as we mentioned. The Prime Minister said this morning Canada and China are entering a new era of relations. According to Danish officials, there is a fundamental disagreement over Greenland, and they're open to continuing a conversation with the U.S.
We have decided to form a high-level working group to explore if we can find a common way forward. The group, in our view, should focus on how to address the American security concerns, while at the same time respecting the red lines of the Kingdom of Denmark.
The foreign affairs ministers from Denmark and Greenland met with J.D. Vance, the U.S. Vice President, and Marco Rubio, who is the Secretary of State, in Washington yesterday. The sides agreed to disagree, vowing to create a working group to talk about issues. The group is expected to meet within a couple of weeks. The ministers also made it clear that Washington hasn't budged on its position to acquire Greenland, something they are calling an unacceptable breach of sovereignty. The U.S. President wasn't at the meeting, but has reiterated those claims. RCMP looking for a man after 2 people were shot at, assaulted, and chased in a forested area near Prince Albert. Jeremy Dodge is following this for us this morning. What are police saying?
Well, Daryl, this happened January 7th, 3 a.m. They were called after a fight between 3 people inside a vehicle in the RM of Buckland. One of them assaulted the other 2 before taking them into a forested area. RCMP say the suspect pointed the gun and fired it, but no one was injured. The victims ran further into the forest to get away and became lost. Using a drone, RCMP were able to find one of them and guide him to safety. A police dog, as well as the drone, were enlisted to find the other victim. She was found inside an SUV. Both of them were okay. RCMP are now looking for 30-year-old Justin Charles from Prince Albert. He's facing a string of weapons and assault charges. Anybody who knows where he is should contact RCMP. Prince Albert City Council looking at ways to pay for more policing projects to improve public safety. And as Jasmine Peltier reports, one idea is to have the initiatives paid for with the community chipping in.
Alex Bosian, owner of Bosian Jewelers, says Prince Albert's downtown could benefit from a higher police presence.
We have more police presence downtown, walking or driving, and asking people who shouldn't be here to move somewhere else probably will help.
In November, the annual policing budget was passed about $160,000 short of the recommendation. Prince Albert City Council is discussing a possible public safety reserve to support additional police work through community fundraising.
Our business community reached out and said, is there a way we can do that? And after some discussion and some throwing some ideas around, they said, well, you know, we'd be willing to contribute some resources if it was something that would help with public safety.
Beausien isn't sure if he'd support a public safety fund, not knowing if it would help deter crime downtown.
As soon as I know where the money goes to, probably then I'll make my decision.
In a letter to council late last year, the Prince Albert Board of Police Commissioners said that while the police service and the board cannot participate in the creation or promotion of a privately funded reserve, if council independently develops the reserve, the board supports the creation of a transparent application process through which police administration could request project funding.
This mechanism would allow us to work with our community partners to find a way to find other solutions to public safety in our community, which is one of the things that's identified often by residents.
The fire department would also be eligible to apply. The matter is to be examined by the city's financial services department. CTV reached out to the Board of Police Commissioners, but it did not respond by time of broadcast. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Well, Daryl, today the weather is making a lot of news right across the country.
Yeah, sure is. We'll start here at home where the snow melt is really on. We're talking to people at the farm show, the Western Canadian Crop Production Show to be exact. They're worried about a midwinter melt that we're experiencing, followed by typical cold conditions, which could limit the amount of moisture in farmlands absorbing into the soil in April. With an ice cap forming over the field, the spring melt could run off into the ditches and sloughs instead of the crops that have been under drought conditions for a number of years, especially as you get out towards the Maple Creek area. While others are optimistic the wet snow will make for favorable seeding conditions. Let's hear from a couple.
It depends how quick the weather warms up. A fast melt will make the water run, or a slow melt, it will still soak into the ground where it needs to be for our drier climates.
I think it'll make easier in the spring. The moisture might stay where it is. It seals off. It shouldn't blow anymore.
Experts warn that the trend of warm winters in recent years and spring arriving earlier, farmers will have to prepare for less reliable water supplies. A different story in Ontario, where police are telling drivers to stay off the roads if they don't need to be out this morning, with heavy snow, strong winds and frigid temperatures hammering the province.
There's lots of cars sliding out, spinning out. I'm up on the 400 right now up in Barrie. I was up down in Toronto much earlier overnight, and again, you cannot see the lane markings. And if you're trying to get through traffic or trying to pass traffic, it can be very challenging.
Toronto's public and Catholic school boards have now closed schools for today, as well as the boards in Peel, York region as well. There are hundreds of school bus cancellations. The storm is not only impacting Ontario, Quebec is getting hit with it as well, and parts of New Brunswick. Better there than here, I say. Speaking of better there than here, the Australian state of Victoria has been hit by flash flooding after a severe storm. Thousands of people have been left without power and cars have been swept away in the rushing water. Authorities have issued an emergency warning for towns along the Great Ocean Road, which is a popular tourist spot. The Victoria State Emergency Service is urging people to take shelter. SaskPower has signed on to a new deal for solar power near Lejourde. SaskPower has signed an agreement to build and operate the indigenous-run facility, which will be one of the province's largest solar arrays, generating enough electricity for about 30,000 homes.
Southern Saskatchewan, Southern Alberta have the best solar resource in all of Canada. It's an excellent solar resource, some of the best in the region, and so SaskPower targeted South Central Saskatchewan where they wanted the procurement to take place, and so that's where we began our prospection in order to site the project.
The project was chosen through a procurement process. Water is finally flowing through Calgary's repaired feeder main.
This is a significant step forward. It tells us the repair is holding, the system is responding as expected, and the work is progressing safely.
Crews have now turned on the first set of pumps at the Bears Paw treatment plant. More pumps will be turned on today and then again tomorrow morning. If all goes well, water restrictions could start easing by the weekend. As the water main comes back online, the province wants to hold its own review. It has asked Calgary for all documents and reports related to its water system. After an investigation, Regina Fire and Protective Services has determined a fire at Country Corner Donuts was accidental. It's caused by a commercial appliance failure, they say. It happened around 5 in the morning on Monday. The owner was already there trying to put it out. Fire crews helped. There was significant smoke damage, although the fire was contained to where that fire started. The Regina Pats picked up their third win in a row last night.
By Darby, Kuryachenkov has a breakaway to the backhand, stopped by Schlenker. Lancer drop pass Karimov, walks in to the backhand, out of the forehand, scores!
Eric Schlenker picked up his first career shutout, also got an assist as the Pats scored at will, beating the Swift Current Broncos 7-0 last night at the Brand Center. Ruslan Karimov had a 2-goal and 1 assist performance for Regina.
Back up top, Brzezinski a shot, he scores!
The Blades dropped their second in a row. They fell 3-1 last night to the Brandon Wheat Kings.
Away, centered for Van Hanen, finds its way to Liskey, snap to Bear, he scores!
The Moose Jaw Warriors continue to struggle. They dropped their third in a row, falling 8-3 to the Everett Silvertips. Everett's pretty good. They've won 4 straight, and they are atop the Western Conference. All right, so the Big Bad Wolf's coming to huff and puff and blow our garbage bins down. Is that right?
That's right, at least later this morning and into the afternoon. As of right now, we are still seeing fairly strong wind gusts throughout most of the province. They are going to get stronger, though. Let's take a look here at this current temperature in Regina. 0 degrees, seeing a little bit more cloud movement coming in as well, and those winds are about 26 kilometers per hour at the moment. Over to Saskatoon now, 1 degree, a little stronger winds at 33 kilometer, and some more sunshine over Saskatoon than what we're going to be seeing here in the Queen City. However, flurries are on the way for a good portion of Saskatchewan as well, so we will see some cloud cover today. Let's look at these wind gusts before we get into anything else. So this is an hour-by-hour look at what we can expect to see as the day goes on here. So today also there is still that yellow warning for the wind set out by Environment Canada, which will be impacting most of southern Saskatchewan. Now, we aren't expecting to see these very strong winds coming through until later this morning and into the afternoon, but they will be coming. Now, for our current temperatures here in Saskatchewan, Buffalo Narrows at 3 degrees along with L'Orange, Melfort 1, Hudson Bay -1. We've got Prince Albert at 4 degrees. The Battlefords and Kindersley both at 2 degrees. Weyburn 1, Estevan 0. Now for our highs today, as you can see, most of the province is going to be experiencing that snowfall and that wind. The Battlefords will be hitting about 3 degrees. Prince Albert 4, we've got Weyburn at 3, Estevan 2 along with Yorkton. Let's look at this 5-day forecast now. Here in Regina, 1 degree as our high for today. We are expecting to see that wind pick up to about 48 kilometers per hour in Regina and surrounding areas. Now tomorrow things will start to slow down a little bit with about 39 kilometer per hour winds and -10. So that temperature is cooling down a little bit, but those wind speeds are also slowing down a little bit as we get into the weekend, -10 on Saturday and seeing some more sunshine. And on Sunday, a little bit of a chilly day, -17, so you might want to bundle up if you've got weekend plans. Over to Saskatoon now, 0 degrees, 48 kilometer per hour winds expected and some flurries on the way. Tomorrow wrapping up the week on Friday with -9 and some sunshine. Saturday for Saskatoon and surrounding areas will be a little bit cloudier, -6 as that high. And on Sunday wrapping up the weekend with -17. So some cooler temperatures, but we are expecting to see more sun. Let's take a look at our rural forecast for today. Meadow Lake seeing about 3 degrees. Lloydminster 2 along with Kindersley. Wynyard at that 1 degree mark in Hudson Bay 3 degrees. Leader 3 degrees as well as Maple Creek. East End Cypress sitting at that 2 degree point. Carlisle and Broadview 1 degree. As you can see, snowfall flurries all across Saskatchewan here today. Now let's take a look over at Carnduff where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. Seeing that 1 degree for the high today. Again, a few flurries are expected and those wind speeds will be anywhere from 25 to 60 kilometers per hour today.
Hello there, Kara Wagland inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. And for it, we are off to Buffalo, where the Sabres were hosting the Flyers. Buffalo turns the puck over in their own end. Owen Tippett gets it over to Nikita Grabenkin. He is absolutely robbed by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. The Finnish goaltender sliding across to make the incredible glove save. It's a big reason why the Sabres have won 14 of 16 games. It is your must-see moment from Wednesday. And coming up tonight on TSN, it's IIHF Under-18 Women's Worlds. Canada taking on Finland. Puck drop for that one goes at 7:30 Eastern. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
An annual carnival, marking the beginning of Orthodox New Year, filled the streets of North Macedonian villages. Do you ever feel like our celebrations are muted?
Yes.
Like we don't do things like this, right?
There's room to get bigger.
Room for improvement. It's a long tradition, this one. They chase off the spirits of winter. The history of the carnival dates back 1,400 years, but the modern spin on the celebration sees costume inspired by pop culture and current affairs.
I love this.
Yeah, we don't do this, right? Like,
we don't, but we should.
Might fire off the odd firework, but
yeah,
nobody's parading through the streets.
No, this is beautiful. What a fun event. Everybody
Lots of costume. Yeah. Lots of costume. Question of the day, we just heard from Kelly Knap, who will represent Saskatchewan in the Brier. Jolene Campbell will be on the program in about 1 hour's time. If you're not going to be around, set your PVR. Made us ask you what your favorite is, who your favorite curler is.
That's right. We got some great answers coming in so far. We've got Michelle here, who of course says my favorite curler is Sandra Schmerler.
Schmerler the curler.
Yep.
Brad Gushu, Kevin Martin, Jennifer Jones, Rachel Homan. We asked you for 1. Karen gave us 4.
All right, we got Darla here who says Dana Demons, lead 4 Team Campbell rather. Meadow Lake will be cheering hard. I bet they will be.
Shout out to everybody watching in Meadow Lake this morning. Mike McEwen and Sandra Schmerler for Margie. Thank you for watching. There is still time for you to get your answers in. That's how you do it. You scan the QR code on your screen, or you text your name and your answer to 10400. The conversation with Kelly Knap is up on our website now. Jolene Campbell will be in studio in about 1 hour's time.
Abused for years by a monster.
Why isn't anybody coming?
Behind the worst mass killing in Canadian history.
As soon as he said it's too late, I thought I need help.
Sunday night, right after the game on CTV and Crave.
Part of the show, it is your morning mystery. We've got 3 clues for you today. It is a thing, I think. Janelle, again, rules state that you cannot cheat with director Corey, and you cannot put a question mark. Clue number 1, accessory said to be first worn in 1849 and made of straw.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
It's an accessory. In 1894, the Boston Baseball Club was the first team to include a logo on the front. That should give it to you.
Okay.
That should give it to you.
Okay.
Became a global fashion accessory in the 80s and 90s thanks to hip-hop artists like Run DMC, LL Cool J, and Tupac Shakur.
All I needed.
If we had the musical rights, Jeremy would sing all of their songbooks.
You could have given me just the last hint.
I'm going to go...
And I would have gotten it.
Okay, let's see if we'll look at you. You're just...
I don't. That last hint, I think, could be a lot.
Okay, so we got 3 variations of the same thing. Baseball hat?
Yeah.
Baseball hat?
Ball
Straw
cap.
hats, right?
Baseball cap is the correct answer. Today happens to be National Hat Day.
Happy National Hat Day, everybody.
Tip of the cap to all of you, except whoever made this graphic and put that egregious Yankees logo out there. Go Red Sox.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Okay, let's look at that school day forecast brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. In Regina, by the time you get onto the bus, 0 degrees. When lunchtime rolls around, we'll be hitting 1 degree and seeing some flurries begin. And final bell back to that 0 degree mark. In Saskatoon, now by the time you get onto the bus, 1 degree. And by lunchtime, seeing some cloud cover in the sky, sitting at 0 degrees. Final bell still at 0 degrees, but seeing some flurries. Let's take a look at gas prices now. The common cost to fill up in Regina is $1.18, but you can find it for as low as $1.03. In Saskatoon, the common is a little higher at $1.27, and the low end is $1.17. Taking a look at the farm markets, the street price of canola is $5.6802 per ton, and the futures price is $6.2830 per ton. Amber durum wheat is $2.7492 per ton, and red spring wheat is $2.5143 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 72.06 cents US. Coming up, Saskatchewan-based drones are helping Sweden find missing people.
Welcome to your morning. It is just about 7:30. We begin with business advocates voicing their concerns over SaskPower's proposed rate hike, and now have written a letter to the province's rate review panel warning a hike could be detrimental to small business. Donovan Mace reports.
The Canadian Federation of Independent Business says the province's small business community is facing an uncertain economic future, and a proposed rate hike from SaskPower will only add to that strain.
They've recently seen insurance premiums skyrocket. They're dealing with increased labor and occupancy costs, and not to mention massive price volatility.
Now, this comes after the Crown announced it is seeking a 3.9% rate increase this February and an additional 3.9% hike in February 2027. The increases still need approval from the rate review panel, but the CFIB is already warning of its implications, saying in a letter to the panel, further increases, even when described as modest, compound financial strain many businesses simply cannot afford. Adding, for small businesses and farms operating on tight margins, interim increase creates immediate cost pressure and uncertainty, shifting financial risk onto ratepayers.
Be transparent and accountable as to where these funds are going, why the increase is necessary. Are they using the cost-effective manners that we would expect to see?
In response to CTV News, the province says it has made decisions ensuring Saskatchewan businesses have an affordable and reliable power system while prioritizing the energy security of our province, while the rate review panel did not respond to our request for comment regarding CFIB's concerns by deadline. Pending approval from the rate review panel, SaskPower plans to implement its new rates February 1st, while CFIB hopes for further discussion and consultation for future hikes moving forward. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Public workers are slowly finding out if their jobs are safe as the federal government begins to implement its planned cuts of 28,000 jobs over the next 4 years.
Waiting for those emails and waiting for those messages from our management to let us know which direction they're going.
Statistics Canada was the first one we learned about as they confirmed 850 job cuts over the next 2 years, including 100 positions immediately. Shared Services Canada also told CTV News that Ottawa has begun notifying its employees about potential cuts, and we are now hearing that Public Services and Procurement Canada is notifying workers today. The goal is to reduce the size of the public service by 40,000 by 2029. The Saskatchewan Environmental Society says it's disappointed in a new court decision to dismiss a legal challenge against keeping coal power operating past the federally mandated shutdown in 2030. Several environmental advocacy groups, including SES, launched the legal challenge last year in response to the province's plans to keep traditional coal plants operating until at least 2050. The extended operation is meant to help Saskatchewan bridge the gap to nuclear power. According to the Environmental Society, the court dismissed the application on the grounds that it was not an issue for the courts to decide. Quebec will soon have a new premier after the resignation of François Legault.
J'annonce aujourd'hui que je vais quitter mon poste de Premier ministre du Québec.
Legault made the sudden announcement saying it was good for the party. With an election year ahead, the CAQ sits last in the polls. Legault started that party in 2011, won 2 majorities, and had a lot of high-profile labor disputes with doctors, teachers, nurses, and another union. Quebec's religious symbols ban is also being challenged at the Supreme Court. He plans to stay on until a new leader is chosen. A longtime supporter of Regina's arts community has died. Lynn Goldman was involved with Regina Little Theatre for over 75 years and helped blaze a trail for women in the broadcasting industry. Wayne Mantica reports.
Lynn Goldman first appeared in a Regina Little Theatre production in 1948 when she was 15 years old. Her connection to the organization continued until her passing late last week.
You name it, she did it. She was an actor, she was a director, she was an administrator, she was president, a fundraiser, just everything.
Lynn Goldman was one of the early employees of CKCK Television in the 1950s, where she joined Gene Freeman and Carol Gabel in blazing a trail for women in broadcasting. The trio remained close friends for life.
It wasn't the greatest time for women in broadcasting because women weren't in broadcasting, nor were they welcome in broadcasting. But the three of us fought our way up, and I think that we cleared the way for the women of today.
Lynn Goldman eventually joined the University of Regina, where she headed communications and later the certificates program. She was also an early donor to the Dark Hall Restoration Campaign.
A city without a theatre and a college is a backwater. The Methodists who built Regina College knew this, and so did Frank Dark.
Lynn Goldman was awarded a Doctor of Laws degree by the university and was recipient of the Saskatchewan Order of Merit.
She loved Regina and Saskatchewan, and she did whatever she could in whatever manner to make sure that Saskatchewan was a great place to live.
Lynn Goldman's legacy of supporting Regina's arts community will continue for years to come. Just last week, she created an award at the Mackenzie Art Gallery in memory of her brother. It will provide assistance and fund exhibitions by artists at the midpoint of their careers. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
A Nova Scotia small business owner is still in awe of her brush with fame at the Golden Globes.
Between the stars that I saw, the producers, the influencers, everybody was so nice. They're so kind, they're so nice, they're gracious, they're very complimentary over the product and seem to love it, which, you know, makes you feel kind of like, okay, phew.
Jill Babcock owns an engraved glass business and was invited to host a gift suite at the show. That meant some big-name celebrities stopped by to check out her work. Now to breaking news overnight. The successful splash landing of SpaceX crew evacuated from the International Space Station because of a medical concern. Sam Champion has more.
This morning, the first ever medical evacuation from the International Space Station.
Splashdown of Crew 11.
4 astronauts splashing down back on Earth after one of them suffered a medical issue in space. On board that capsule, NASA astronauts Zina Kardaman and Mike Fink, Japan's Kimiya Yui, and Russia's Oleg Platonov. Crew 11 climbing on board the SpaceX Dragon Endeavour spacecraft and undocking from the International Space Station Wednesday.
Endeavour begins its journey home.
Inside the capsule, the astronauts preparing to return home after 165 days on the space station.
Restraints tightened and buzzers down.
Hours after undocking, the crew re-entering Earth's atmosphere. Then 2 rounds of parachutes deploying to further slow the capsule's descent.
Standing by for splashdown.
And finally, splashdown off the coast of San Diego at 3:41 a.m. Eastern.
So good to be home.
Recovery boats arriving at the capsule to welcome the astronauts home, lassoing the craft to lift it out of the water.
While this was the first time we had to return crew slightly ahead of schedule, NASA was ready.
A Saskatchewan-based drone company is helping teams in Sweden find missing people by locating mobile phones from kilometers away. Dragonfly has evolved from a hobby airplane business to jumping into the drone space. Its newest partnership with Search and Rescue Sweden uses drones made here in Saskatchewan. The drones have phone detection systems designed for wilderness rescue and police support. The drones were recently tested in our harsh weather conditions, confirming their effectiveness and ability to reduce or replace costly helicopter searches.
Operating in Saskatoon and Saskatchewan does give us a very good benefit of having a lot of wide open space to go do flight testing and development, whereas some more dense urban locations, Vancouver, Toronto, we don't have as much opportunity to access a clear open flying location.
In Saskatoon, drones are being used by police and missing persons searches, as well as firefighting support and collision investigations. Iran has closed its airspace for a few hours this morning as it deals with fallout from anti-government protests. This is from Flight Radar 24. It shows planes diverted from Iran's airspace during about a 4-hour closure. The last time Iran shut down its airspace was during the conflict with Israel in June last year. The U.S. president is weighing his response to anti-government protests. Although the weather conditions are above seasonal this week, there are various winter activities people can still take part in. Sierra D'Souza Butts with some winter fun.
Dave Hall takes pride in grooming the cross-country ski and walking trails at Kingsman Park. He's been volunteering with the Regina Ski Club since he retired 3 years ago.
I happen to enjoy winter. So, and I get a real kick out of people using the park and coming out and enjoying it.
Hall is part of a small group of volunteers who help maintain about 30 kilometers of trails within the city.
Even when there's no snow on the trails, volunteers come out and will push snow into the areas that we will set for trails, just trying to gather as much snow so there's no grass poking through anywhere.
Aiming to make winter more enjoyable for people in the community, the Regina Ski Club grooms more than 15 cross-country ski trails around the city, including Douglas Park, the Science Center, Joanne Goulet, and Sherman Park, as well as White Butte Trails.
For just over 90 years, the club has been in operation, and it's kind of changed and evolved over the years. It started actually as a downhill alpine club, and now we cover all types of cross-country skiing and downhill skiing and biathlon as well.
Currently sitting at 300 members, the club encourages people to try the outdoor activity, saying it helps make the winter season more tolerable.
It's a great way to get exercise. It's a great way, we're stuck with winter here, regardless of whether we like it or not. So, you can't change the winters, but you can change your activity.
Every Thursday, Regina Ski Club hosts a social ski night offering tips on technique. With the temperatures being above seasonal this week, those interested in hitting the trails are encouraged to check their website before heading out. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
If you're planning to go to this year's Silver Spoon dinner, prepare to bring your singing voice. Choir has been announced as this year's celebrity speakers and entertainers. The duo puts on an interactive show that sees their audience join in and sing their hearts out. So you go into this thing, Janelle, if you've never seen this before, you go in, they give you lyric sheets, they put it up on the big screen, and you do the singing. 34th annual Silver Spoon dinner is scheduled to take place May 4th at TCU Place, and the proceeds go to charity. Would you do it? I wanted to. We had tickets, and then the pandemic happened. They were coming to Regina, and then washed away. They've never been back. Yeah,
I would do it. Would you? You obviously would too. You got the tickets.
I hope there's a rap interlude for Jeremy Dodge. I know he'll be there.
I would love to see that.
I would love to see that.
Little team bonding event. I think that would be a lot.
The windy forecast.
Well, let's take a look here. We are still seeing that yellow warning throughout Saskatchewan, which means that those wind speeds aren't slowing down anytime soon. We are seeing the lesser side of it. As of currently, 26-kilometer-per-hour winds here in Regina. So again, it is going to increase as the day goes on. We're at 0 degrees here, so not a terrible start here to our Thursday. Now let's look over to Saskatoon. 1 degree, 33-kilometer-per-hour winds currently, and seeing a little bit more sunshine once that sun does rise than what we're going to see here in Regina. Now let's look at these wind speeds a little closer. So this is an hour-by-hour look at what we can expect to see today. Again, that warning is still out from Environment Canada, and it will be impacting most of southern Saskatchewan. So that is where we'll see those wind speeds heighten quite quickly. And again, these will increase later this morning and then into the afternoon as well. Now for current temperatures in the province, Buffalo Narrows is at 3 degrees. We've got Nipawin 3 degrees as well. Melfort 1, Hudson Bay -1. The Battlefords and Kindersley 2 degrees. East End 1, Moose Jaw currently at that 3 degree point. Yorkton 1 and Estevan 0. For our highs today, the Battleffords will be seeing 3 degrees along with swift current. Moose Jaw 2, Weyburn 3, and Estevan 2 degrees along with Yorkton. As you can see here, flurries are expected for a good portion of the province along with those very high wind speeds. So bundle up today. Those temperatures aren't looking terrible, but as always in the winter, those wind speeds will make it feel much cooler. For our 7-day forecast now here in Regina, 1 degree is our high for today, expecting to see those wind speeds climb to about 48 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow, that temperature is dropping a little bit, but so is that wind speed. 39 kilometer per hour winds tomorrow. -10 is the high, and we'll kick off our weekend on Saturday with -10 and seeing those winds slow down to about 21 kilometers per hour. We'll start next week nice and fresh with -15 and some sun in the skies. Now for Saskatoon today, 0 degrees as that high. Again, seeing scattered flurries throughout Saskatoon and surrounding areas. 48 kilometer per hour winds are expected. Tomorrow -9 and seeing those winds drop down to about 29 kilometers. Kicking off the weekend on Saturday with a fairly cloudy sky, but nice temperatures at -6. And again, 23 kilometer per hour winds. So today is when we're going to be seeing the most of it. For Saskatoon, our friends there will be starting the fresh week off on Monday with -16 and mainly sunny skies.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
This week in politics, we focus in on the fine city of Moose Jaw. I still call it the friendly city. I think Mayor James Murdoch calls it Canada's most notorious city. James, good morning.
Good morning, Daryl.
Let's talk.
It's Canada's most friendliest, notorious city.
Something in there. Whatever brings people to town. That's the important part. Happy New Year to you. We talked a lot about challenges of 2025. Let's talk optimism as we head into 2026.
Great. I feel very optimistic, for the coming year of 2026. I think there's a lot of positives that we can focus on and, to continue to profile the city of Moose Jaw, see it grow, expand, while, creating job opportunities. So very excited for this coming year.
Any mayor that I speak to across this great province will tell me that affordability is the #1 concern of all of their residents. What is number 2? What is the number 2 call to your office these days?
For us, Daryl, I would maybe give that to continued infrastructure. We're with our 2026 budget that we passed, we're making it a priority to see infrastructure improvements that are noticeable, to our citizens. So roadways, sidewalks, but then also there's a lot of work to be done with underground infrastructure that, we need to move forward. But that there, because they're much, much bigger projects, we will be relying on partnerships, with provincial and federal governments, for funding. So we're trying to move those forward.
I know the city of Regina has made a lot of headlines lately for that massive tax increase of 10% or more. How have you kept things affordable in the city of Moose Jaw?
Right, Daryl. We listened to our citizens. They said, we understand that there's needs to be increases, but let's see that those tax dollars are being directed to get the biggest benefit, So we did see a 6.95%, increase for 2026. Of that, just under 4% is being designated for our Moose Jaw Police Service. And then just under 3% of that was the mill rate increase. So this is a budget that, we're, like I say, we're listening and, we know that there are, challenges, but we're going to direct those dollars the best we can, for the improvements.
Let's get people excited about the city of Moose Jaw. You guys have a great tourism industry. Why come there?
Why come to Moose Jaw? Well, as you stated earlier, Daryl, at the beginning, Moose Jaw is Canada's notorious city. Moose Jaw is the friendly city. We are a welcoming group of people. We have a strong tourist industry. Moose Jaw Tourism does a great job in profiling our great community. And, there's going to be great things for 2026. Just a little plug for our Moose Jaw Trolley. I understand that they're going to be starting a new historic tour this year for the downtown, which is exciting. Yep. Also, for new projects, we've got the
James, I hate to do it to you. We're all out of time, my man. We have to do this again soon because we have so much to share about your...
The governments of Canada and China have signed a series of cooperation agreements, including one with the goal of expanding energy trade. But there was no mention of tariffs on canola or electric vehicles, which are currently the biggest trade irritants between Canada and China. The nations pledged to set up a ministerial dialogue on energy and explore opportunities in oil, gas, nuclear, and clean technology. Also, they will allow Canadian dog food into China. Prime Minister Mark Carney is set to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping on Friday. Taiwan's semiconductor manufacturing on Thursday announced a record capital expenditure of between $52 and $56 billion for 2026. This as it tries to ease the capacity constraint on its production facilities. About 70 to 80% of the spending will go to manufacturing equipment for cutting-edge chips, with the remainder split between chips for automotive and industrial uses and advanced packaging technologies. TSMC, which manufactures more than 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors, projects its revenue will grow nearly 30% this year. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
It's January 15th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy 10th birthday to Cade. This is coming from your mom, dad, Naya, and Blakely, who love you very much. More birthday wishes going out to Joan. Your family and friends hope you have a great day. And happy belated 14th birthday to Jersey. Lots of love from your mom, dad, and siblings. And last but not least, happy birthday to Scott. This is coming from your friends and your family.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can scan that QR code on your screen. Please make sure to send them at least one day in advance.
All right, Chase, what's happening on the radio today?
We want to give a big shout out this morning to Stuart Nick's school out in Grand Coulee. They dropped off a check for our Betty White Challenge. Students out there did a cookie sale and a hat day too, so wrote us a check for the Humane Society. And of course, we're doubling up all donations up to $5,000 with Sherwood Co-op matching that. So goes a long way. Big thank you to them and to everyone else who's been donating. Today and tomorrow, your last days to get those donations in, though. PureCountry927.ca, you'll see the full list of items that we are after, the link to donate as well, so we can make a strong push. Also coming up after 8 o'clock, we'll have some more Tennille Towns tickets to give away for that show in April.
Okay, so Family Feud allows, what, 5 people? The Hunter brothers are going to be on this show. If we were making our own team, there's you, me, Janelle, Kayleen, the on-air staff here. Who are you kicking off the team? Because Britt and I used to have this argument all the time, and she was always kicking her brother Jeff off the team. Yeah. It's like, you're no good. You're going to be bad.
Gosh, I think I have to put everyone through the gauntlet first.
Yeah, that's true.
I do remember way back, Daryl, it was the radio station versus the TV station on a little mock Family Feud game, and well, I have a trophy in my office.
See?
So you might be axed in this situation.
The answer was me. The answer is always me. Bye.
See ya.
Starting Friday, the Lord of the Rings trilogy returns to theaters to mark the 25th anniversary of The Fellowship of the Ring. The screenings will include a recorded introduction from director Peter Jackson that will play before each film.
Couldn't be happier, right, dear?
2 Wicked stars are making plans to duet again, this time live on stage. Ariana Grande and Jonathan Bailey will star in a revival of the classic Stephen Sondheim musical, Sunday in the Park with George, opening in London next summer. Tickets go on sale in May. John Mellencamp, in a short film with actor Sean Penn, has announced a summer concert tour. The 74-year-old rocker will play 19 dates at amphitheaters across the U.S., featuring his greatest hits.
You're looking at the luckiest guy in the world, playing all my hit records. It'll make people happy. It'll probably make me happy because I haven't done it for so long.
And happy birthday to rapper Armando Perez, better known as Pitbull. He's 45 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
All right, this boy band giving everyone a run for their money.
1, 2, 3.
This is Boythro, and they've been retirement homes in this case. But why, Janelle, do they have a person on Zoom?
So that is their fourth member named Darshan. And there is a story behind all of this. Darshan is actually waiting for his visa to come into the States. So he's performing over FaceTime.
Oh, that's
Kayleen
great.
and I are die-hard fans of Boythro.
She's showing me the TikTok account, Jeremy, and one of the they do the interaction with fans, and one of them was, stop telling us to marry our boy band member so that he can come to the States.
I hope that they all join forces and perform their hearts out. I love them.
Should we get matching tracksuits?
Yes, pink ones.
Welcome to Thursday.
Rate hikes back-to-back are going to come as a huge blow to businesses.
Why business groups are urging SaskPower against planned rate hikes.
Southern Saskatchewan, Southern Alberta have the best solar resource in all of Canada.
SaskPower has signed on to a deal for a 100 megawatt solar facility near Le Jourde.
That's Crew 11 preparing for their re-entry period.
Expect personnel alongside in 1 minute.
Splashdown. In a rare mission, NASA has brought home a crew from the International Space Station a month early. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle. Thank you for being back with us.
I'm so glad that we educated the entire world on the Zoom boy band.
I love Boythro. I know Kayleen is watching, and she's also obsessed with Boythro.
We need a TikTok account.
Yes, yes.
Maybe that's what we need to launch in the new year. All right, let's get to news. We'll start with this. It affects you. Business advocates are voicing their concerns with SaskPower's proposed rate hike, and now have written a letter to the rate review panel warning it could hurt small business. Donovan Mace reports.
The Canadian Federation of Independent Business says the province's small business community is facing an uncertain economic future, and a proposed rate hike from SaskPower will only add to that strain.
They've recently seen insurance premiums skyrocket. They're dealing with increased labor and occupancy costs, and not to mention massive price volatility.
Now, this comes after the Crown announced it is seeking a 3.9% rate increase this February and an additional 3.9% hike in February 2027. The increases still need approval from the rate review panel, but the CFIB is already warning of its implications, saying in a letter to the panel, further increases, even when described as modest, compound financial strain many businesses simply cannot afford. Adding, for small businesses and farms operating on tight margins, interim increase create immediate cost pressure and uncertainty, shifting financial risk onto ratepayers.
Be transparent and accountable as to where these funds are going, why the increase is necessary. Are they using the cost-effective manners that we would expect to see?
In response to CTV News, the province says it has made decisions ensuring Saskatchewan businesses have an affordable and reliable power system while prioritizing the energy security of our province, while the rate review panel did not respond to our request for comment regarding CFIB's concerns by deadline. Pending approval from the rate review panel, SaskPower plans to implement its new rates February 1st, while CFIB hopes for further discussion and consultation for future hikes moving forward. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Prime Minister Mark Carney presiding over a number of meetings and signing ceremonies in Beijing today with the focus of increasing trade to visit, seeming to signal the beginning of a new era of the relationship between Canada and China. Annie Bergeron-Oliver is in the ground in Beijing ahead of that highly anticipated meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping.
Mark Carney has wrapped up his first full day here in Beijing. It started with a number of private meetings with the leaders of Chinese companies in the clean tech, fintech, and energy sectors. One of those businesses, CATL. It's the world's largest maker of batteries for electric vehicles. Now, Carney has made it no secret that he wants major companies like this to spend more money in Canada. From there, Carney pivoted to politics, but his meetings with government officials, including the Chinese premier, still focused on increasing trade and collaborations in various areas to ultimately help the Canadian economy. Carney said he was heartened by the leadership of Chinese President Xi Jinping and that the warming ties paved the way to a strategic partnership in certain areas. The warm words coming from the Chinese side too, who described this visit as a turning point and welcomed deeper ties and collaboration. Tomorrow, Carney will meet with President Xi Jinping at the Great Hall. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Beijing.
Now to the latest on the U.S. president's push to acquire Greenland. After a White House visit by officials from Greenland and Denmark, the president still insisting that the U.S. must have control of the island. Rachel Scott reports.
This morning, President Trump renewing his call for the U.S. to acquire Greenland.
We need Greenland for national security, so we're going to see what happens.
Top officials from Denmark and Greenland traveling to Washington, meeting with the Vice President and Secretary of State. But the high-stakes meeting appeared to make little progress. A Danish official declaring that a fundamental disagreement still remains.
We didn't manage to change the American position. It's clear that the president has this wish of conquering over Greenland. We made it very, very clear that this is not in the interest of the kingdom.
Hours before that meeting, President Trump insisting NATO would be stronger with Greenland in the hands of the United States. Adding anything less than that is unacceptable. For weeks, the president has been ramping up his rhetoric, saying one way or another, we're going to have Greenland, and has not ruled out using military force to get it.
I would like to make a deal, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way.
Denmark, a NATO ally, has made it clear they're happy to work with the United States to bolster security in the region.
But that doesn't mean that we want to be owned by the United States.
The country now taking preventative measures to deter the U.S. from acting, expanding its military presence on the island and asking other NATO allies to help. Overnight, a Danish plane arriving on the island for a military exercise. Here at home, there is little to no support for using America's military to take Greenland. A new poll shows 86%, including nearly 70% of Republicans, oppose doing so. Republican Senator Mitch McConnell warning that if the U.S. goes after a NATO ally, it will be incinerating the hard-won trust of loyal allies. Other lawmakers agreeing.
Military action against Greenland would be the most serious national geopolitical mistake this country could make and would weaken us.
Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
Closer to home to Saskatoon we go, where Jeremy Dodge is going to tell us about an investigation in Prince Albert. Jeremy.
Thank you, Daryl. Yeah, RCMP are looking for a man after two people were shot at, assaulted, and chased into the forest near Prince Albert. It was on January 7th, 3 a.m. Police got the call after a fight between three people inside a vehicle in the RM of Buckland. One of them assaulted the other two before taking them into a forested area. RCMP say the suspect pointed the gun and fired. Nobody was injured. The victims ran further into the forest to get away and became lost. So using a drone, RCMP were able to find one of them, guide him to safety. A police dog, as well as the drone, were enlisted to find the other victim, and she was found inside an SUV. Both were okay. RCMP are now looking for 30-year-old Justin Charles from Prince Albert. He's facing a string of weapons and assault charges. Anybody who knows where he is should contact RCMP. Prince Albert City Council is discussing a possible public safety reserve to support police work through community fundraising. The proposed reserve would be used to support policing efforts. City councillors say local businesses have expressed interest in the idea. In a letter, the Prince Albert Board of Police Commissioners stated that while the police service and the board cannot participate in the creation or promotion of a privately funded reserve, it might be able to access reserve funds through a transparent application process.
It came up during budget time, and then, of course, that went back to the Police Commission, and they forwarded off a letter to us, and now we've asked administration to come up with some options that could be possible.
The matter is to be examined by the city's Financial Services Department. Well, Daryl, warmer weather here in Saskatchewan. How's Canada's east looking, though?
Heavy snow, strong winds, and frigid temperatures. That's what my mother and father-in-law are waking up to in Ontario. Parts of Quebec as well this morning. Take a look.
So everything was really a mess for me. I'm really cold right now. My hair is freezing.
It's fun. Yeah. But you got to be safe. So everyone be safe out there.
For clarification, none of those people in those clips were my mother or father-in-law. That would be weird and funny. Some areas could see up to 30 centimeters of snow, and it is cold. Toronto's feeling as cold as -22, which seems like nothing here, but there it's chilly. There are a number of warnings in place this morning, including yellow and orange snowfall warnings in parts of Ontario, and snowfall and winter storm warnings in Quebec. Police in Ontario are telling people to stay home if they can, to stay off the roads.
There's lots of cars sliding out, spinning out. I'm up on the 400 right now up in Barrie. I was up down in Toronto much earlier overnight, and again, you cannot see the lane markings. And if you're trying to get through traffic or trying to pass traffic, it can be very challenging.
What I love most about these stories are all the people across Saskatchewan who are like, it's just winter, Daryl, it happens, it's winter. Toronto's public and Catholic schools, they've closed schools, hundreds of bus cancellations as well. Storm not only impacting Ontario, Quebec is also getting hammered, and parts of New Brunswick too. And if you're traveling that way today, flights arriving and departing from Toronto's Pearson Airport are already facing a number of delays. The airport suggests passengers keep an eye on your flight status with multiple disruptions expected. The snowfall is forecasted to continue through the afternoon. The weather warnings remain in place. A lot of flights from here do connect there. While many people are out enjoying the usual warm weather here, farmers are getting a little bit nervous when it comes to seeding. Farmers we spoke to at the Western Canadian Crop Show are keeping an eye on it. They're worried about mid-winter melts followed by typically cold conditions, which could limit the amount of moisture going into the farmland and absorbed into the soil in April. With an ice cap forming over the field, with the spring melt could run off into the ditches and sloughs instead of into the crops where it's so desperately needed.
It depends how quick the weather warms up. A fast melt will make the water run, or a slow melt, it will still soak into the ground where it needs to be for our drier climates.
I think it'll make easier in the spring. The moisture might stay where it is. It seals off. It shouldn't blow anymore.
Experts warn a trend of warmer winters in recent years, and spring arriving a little earlier, farmers will have to prepare for less reliable sources of water. The Australian state of Victoria has been hit by flash flooding. Take a look at your screen. Thousands of people have been left without power, cars swept away under the rushing water. My, oh my. Authorities have issued an emergency warning for the towns along Great Ocean Road, which is a popular tourist spot. The Victoria State Emergency Service is urging people to take shelter. Have you ever wanted to go off-grid for a few days? Well, there's a new app that might think you're dead if you do. It's called the Are You Dead app, and it's for people who live alone. It's going viral in China, and surging downloads have prompted the company to introduce a subscription fee. The company behind it says it's a tool designed for safety for people who live alone. The app requires you to set up an emergency contact and sends automatic notifications if that user has not checked in on that app for consecutive days. Kind of the new age version, Janelle, of taking the door hanger. You know, my grandma's old folks home used to have it. I'm okay. You know?
Yes. I mean, a great idea. Keep people safe.
Like, I mean, the name is a little aggressive.
The name
let's
gets
put that out there. Are you dead? No, I'm good.
I'm okay.
I'm good.
Yeah. That's how you know.
Well, let's talk about our weather. We're not getting that snow and wind and everything that's happening out east.
That's right. We are expecting to see some flurries, though not a significant amount of snow. We'll get more into that coming up. But let's take a look. The sun is finally starting to rise right here in Regina, 2 degrees. That wind speed is starting to pick up. We're at about 43 kilometers per hour as of right now. And again, once that sun does rise, we are expecting to see quite a bit of cloud cover, which will lead us to these flurries. Now over to Saskatoon, 0 degrees, 28 kilometer per hour winds, a little bit more sunshine over Saskatoon than what we're seeing in the Queen City. Now let's dive into these wind speeds. So this again is that hour by hour look at what we can expect. As you're watching this, you will notice how high things are getting, anywhere between 40 to 80 and above kilometer per hour wind speeds across Saskatchewan. Now, this is impacting most of southern Saskatchewan. Again, that yellow warning for wind is still out by Environment Canada, so that is warning everybody of the risks of these high wind speeds. You're definitely going to want to bundle up here today. For current temperatures, Buffalo, Narrows, and Spiritwood at 2 degrees, Hudson Bay and Nipawin sitting at that 3-degree mark, Melfort currently at 1, the Battleford's 2, Swift Current 0, along of course with Saskatoon and Estevan. Wynyard -1 in East End, 2 degrees. For our highs here, the Battlefords will be seeing 3 degrees. Swift Current 2, Weyburn back to 3, Estevan and Yorkton 2 degrees. As you can see here, those flurries are fairly universal for the province. We are expecting to see some snow coming for majority of this southern Saskatchewan. Now for our 5-day forecast right here in Regina, 1 degree is our high for today, seeing that wind speed pick up to about 48 kilometers per hour. That is what we're expecting to see today. Tomorrow we're wrapping up the week with a little bit of a lower temperature at -10. However, those winds are slowing down slowly but surely, 39 kilometer per hour on Friday. Saturday, we're kicking off the weekend with -10 and more sunshine. And Sunday, things are getting a little bit cooler with -17 as that high. For Saskatoon, now 0 degrees today. Still fairly similar at that 48 kilometer per hour wind speed expected for Saskatoon. Tomorrow, more sunshine, -9, and those winds slowing down to close to 29 kilometers per hour. The weekend looking a little bit nicer, -6 on Saturday. Sunday, a little bit cooler at -17, but more sunshine to look forward to.
January 15th, 1996, Lucien Bouchard resigned his seat in the House of Commons to become leader of the Parti Québécois. January 15th, 1964, Lester B. Pearson arrived in Paris to begin the first official visit by a Canadian Prime Minister to France. And just last year, South Korean police arrested the country's President Yoon Suk-yeol after a martial law declaration and impeachment motion.
Okay, so we've heard about the teddy bear toss at hockey games, but here's a new spin on the idea. This is at Grand River Collegiate Institute, and they had a sock toss.
Sock toss.
Same idea. Not bears, though.
They're
Socks.
struggling with
they
that
collected
net.
about 1,200 pairs, and they were donated to a group helping with a housing crisis in the Waterloo region.
That's
hey,
fantastic.
That's great.
That's cool.
I'm just laughing at there's some stuck in that meshing there. Like,
Yeah.
Socks are easier to toss than bears are.
Somebody's going to have to go through.
I don't know, though. They don't go quite as far, right? They're not heavy enough, maybe, to get all the way. If you're up in the high seats, I don't know.
I guess. I don't know. I own a lot of pairs. I think I could toss them a fair distance.
Yeah, that's great, though. What a good
fundraising.
initiative.
Good fundraising. Question of the day is where we go to next. We're asking people who their favorite curler is.
That's right.
And we've got a bunch of answers to share with you. Of course, we're closed for today, so we can't send any more answers in. But
yeah, we got some good ones coming in, though. We've got Janet here who says Rachel Erickson and Val Sweeting.
A lot of them. Amber Holland getting some love. Pat Simmons, Sandra Schmerler, the curler from Kim. Remind us, your personal favorites at the very moment sway back and forth, Jeremy, right?
Yeah, I'm just whoever's representing Saskatchewan currently. So I got Mike McEwen, you got Kelly Knapp, and
Jolene Campbell, who's currently sitting in our green room, very excited to come on the show in a couple of minutes.
Of course, I would never forget her.
She didn't bring the trophy.
But Sandra Schmerler's the all-timer.
I walked through and I said, "You didn't bring the trophy?" She said, "Well, why would I keep it? I can't drink out of it." It's not like the men's.
Fair.
The men's has a giant cup on the top. Yeah. Karen, thanks for the shout out to Brad Gushu, Kevin Martin, Jennifer Jones, and Rachel Holman. We are talking curling. If you missed the conversation with Kelly, it's on our website. After this short commercial break, we've got health news and Jolene Campbell.
It's being called the super flu, and tonight the California Department of Public Health has confirmed this new strain of influenza is circulating in California.
Importantly and unfortunately, it may not be covered by the current flu vaccine. So we've been seeing a lot of this in the East Coast, and it looks like it's now coming here to California. Really seems to last a long time. People are pretty uncomfortable, fevers, chills, body aches, feeling cough, and everyone knows someone who's sick.
Dr. Monica Gandhi is an infectious disease doctor at UCSF. She says this flu season there are lower vaccination rates, and if you haven't gotten the vaccine, she recommends you still do so because it could help protect against other strains and against more severe illness.
It could attenuate or make it better to have the vaccine even against H3N2 clade K.
That's the formal name for the super flu. In California, the test positivity rate for the flu in general is currently described as moderate. But in the Bay Area, we're in the red, described as high. Dr. Rob Asibe works at StatMed Urgent Care in Concord and says they've seen a big uptick in flu cases.
This year, we have a lot of patients with upper respiratory symptoms, cough, cold, congestion, high fevers, and a lot of them are coming back with influenza A, and it seems to be affecting them quite significantly.
He adds he's also noticed patients who have been vaccinated often have milder symptoms.
The patients that are more severe and end up in the more severe cases or hospitalized are usually the ones that are unvaccinated.
Janet Tisdale needs to be shot stone with her last here in the 10th. It's on the guard. It's going to tick and roll off. And Jolene Campbell will not have to throw her last rock, and she is your 2026 Saskatchewan provincial champion.
Music to the ears of my next guest, Regina Highland Club's Jolene Campbell defeating Janet Tisdale 4-3 to win her first pinnacle since 2016. And now we are getting set for the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Jolene, how does it feel to see that clip again?
Oh, it feels great. It's still kind of surreal. It's been such a whirlwind since it happened, but yeah, it's kind of emotional every time I see it or hear it.
Now we're going to see you on the national stage at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts, which means you're going to get all kinds of TV coverage and all that kind of good stuff. Introduce us to the rink that you put together that had so much success at the Pinnacle.
Yeah, so Dana Demons at lead, and she was played with us last year, and we lost that big provincial final game, sadly. Rachel was Erickson, is now Rachel Big Eagle. We've been together about 5-6 years, and then we brought Robin Silvernagel on board, obviously just an incredible player. She's been a Saskatchewan rep for, I think this is her 4th trip, so she was just an awesome fit to the crew. And then we have Ben Gamble at coach, has been fantastic, just was a huge difference maker for us at the provincial, and brought an old teammate, Callan Hammond, who was with me in 2016, on as our 5th player.
What does it mean to you to wear the green jackets and represent this province?
It's just the best. It's absolutely just the best thing in curling is to put on that green jacket. Just going back to the Scotties is just for any young gal that grew up watching curling or curling. It's what we've always wanted to do. It's what you always want to play in. This will be my 6th one. I went 3 as an alternate, and it just, you feel like maybe it gets old. It doesn't. I will tell you, it does not get old to go back to that championship.
How do you prepare for something this big? You don't see these rinks all the time.
Right, true, yeah. There'll be a few familiar faces there for us, but you know what, we had like a good week at our provincial. We play like a full round robin, so the format is a good way to prepare. Yeah, and it's just doing the things we can do to get ready, just back to the same training and doing the same thing, the same kind of plan we had going into provincials, and see what we can do.
How do you keep the moment from getting too big?
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, we haven't really had any time to do anything. Like
maybe that's a good thing, though.
Yeah, I think it can be. Like, we leave really quickly. I think we're down to like 6 days or something. And, you know, a few of us have been there before, so it's just really enjoying it. Just enjoy every moment and the moments like this and the cool things we get to do. Just really take it all in and embrace it.
Have you felt the love and support from Saskatchewan already?
Absolutely, yeah, which is incredible. It's awesome to be from a curling province and a curling city. I think the Highland will probably be going crazy, obviously, with Kelly's team also winning, and Jana's team is also a Highland team. So just a really, really awesome time for the Highland Curling Club, and Regina's just a curling city, so it's pretty special to represent a club like that.
One of the cool things about anytime somebody gets TV exposure, right? The communities come together and they watch and they rally and all these kinds of things. There are young girls that are going to be watching you compete on the national stage who maybe have never tried curling or thought about trying curling. What's your message to those young girls that might want to get into the sport?
Yeah, for sure. I'm raising 3 young girls myself, and I have them kind of to the rink now. They had said to me last week, "Mom, when do we practice again?" So yeah, it's a really fun sport. Curling's a great community of people, and I encourage all, you know, youth, but even like young adults or older adults. Like, I mean, it's just something you can play forever, right? And you can go to a new community, you can join a curling league, you can meet new people. It's just a cool sport to be able to go out and play a little bit. I would encourage anybody to, you know, contact one of the clubs and get out and give it a try for sure.
Jolene, you got a whirlwind ahead of you. Good luck. We will be cheering on from here in Saskatchewan.
Thank you so much.
8:30 on Your Morning Saskatchewan. Thank you for waking up with us. And we begin with breaking news from Iran this morning, where a Canadian citizen has died in widespread anti-government protests in the country. Global Affairs Canada says consular officials are in touch with the victim's family members here in Canada, and at this point, no other details are being released. The death comes as the UN Security Council is set to hold an emergency meeting on the unrest in Iran today. Protests that broke out more than 2 weeks ago have left more than 2,500 people dead. On Wednesday, Iran's judiciary head signaled that trials of detained protesters and executions would be fast-tracked. This comes as the U.S. President Donald Trump claims that he's been told of killings in Iran that have stopped.
I've been informed by very important sources on the other side, and they've said the killing has stopped and the executions won't take place.
Earlier, Trump warned Iranian authorities that if protests were violently suppressed, the U.S. would intervene in support of them taking strong action against Iran. Public workers slowly finding out if their jobs are safe as the federal government plans to implement planned cuts for 28,000 in the public service over the next 4 years.
Waiting for those emails and waiting for those messages from our management to let us know which direction they're going.
Statistics Canada was the first one we learned about. They are cutting 850 jobs, including 100 immediately. CTV News has also learned that other industries have reached out and are starting to cut that public service. They want to get it down to 330,000 by 2029. While there's a lot of focus on the proposed SaskPower rate hike, the Crown Corporation is focusing on adding new sources of energy to the grid. Damian Smith reports.
Pen to paper makes it official for the construction of a 100-megawatt solar project. Called Mino-Gizis, the facility will be located in the municipality of Lejourde, 45 minutes southeast of Regina.
Southern Saskatchewan, southern Alberta have the best solar resource in all of Canada. It's an excellent solar resource, some of the best in the region.
And the project will be 50% Indigenous owned by the Anishinaabe Power Alliance.
Generate economic wealth in terms of creating employment resources as well, infrastructure. We want to bridge those gaps, those relationships, and of course, economic prosperity is on everyone's agenda.
According to SaskPower, the solar farm will be able to power 32,000 homes and will be the cheapest power in the province.
So we've seen, as part of the 700 megawatts, the cost per megawatt plus interconnections at about $90 a megawatt hour. And I can tell you that this project that we announced today is the lowest cost power out of all of our solar procurements.
When construction starts in 2027, Neoen looks to hire 350 people, with 75% of them being Indigenous.
Are working with the Gabriel Dumont Institute, the First Nation Employment Center, and SIIT to really figure out how can we hire people, how can we train people, and how can we not only create jobs for this project, but have them then work in the growing solar industry in Western Canada.
According to SaskPower, Minneapolis is going to be one of the larger facilities across Saskatchewan and is expected to be complete by 2028. Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
U.S. Ambassador to Canada Pete Hoekstra is in Montreal this week. He joined a radio station, and during the discussion, he said the United States does not need Canada.
Sometime this summer, sometime hopefully this fall, we will have a new outline of how we do business together and whether those relationships that we have put in place, whether those will foster and grow, or whether Canadian companies and American companies will go their separate ways because of the decisions that are made by their governments.
Canada, the U.S., and Mexico are actively engaged in the review process for CUSMA. Earlier this week, the president said CUSMA has no real advantage for the U.S. and it's irrelevant to him. He'd previously suggested the trade deal may have outlived its usefulness. Fear and anger are spreading in Minneapolis, Minnesota, after another shooting involving an immigration officer. In this case, a federal agent was shot in the leg after being attacked with a shovel and a broom handle. That was followed by protesters shooting fireworks at officers. The Department of Homeland Security said Venezuelan immigrants fled in a vehicle during a traffic stop. A targeted one then crashed into a parked car and fled on foot. During the arrest, 2 other people allegedly attacked the officer with a snow shovel and a broom handle. Minnesota officials are now calling for the peace in the area in the streets and are demanding ICE leave the city. And new this morning, U.S. President Donald Trump is threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act in Minnesota if officials don't stop protests from targeting immigration agents. Trump took to social media this morning, warning, quote, if the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators, easy for me to say, and insurrectionists, the patriots of ICE who are only trying to do their job, he will stop the insurrection with the Insurrection Act. As the Winter Olympics draw nearer, athletes from across Canada are preparing to showcase their skills. That includes a Saskatchewan athlete.
Nearly 4 years ago, Emily Clark brought an Olympic gold medal home to Saskatoon, and now she's planning to do it again.
Everyone knows hockey in Canada. You're going for gold every time. Every year, maybe the motivator is slightly different, and you just use whatever you need to be at your best. But obviously winning, competing, representing our country and our team, there's no shortage of motivation.
The Saskatoon-born hockey superstar is gearing up to represent Canada at the Olympics for a 3rd time in Milano Cortina. Clark has been playing hockey since she was 3, and there's been a lot of growth in the world of women's hockey since then.
Lots of us were motivated by wanting to play on Team Canada, and we only got to see that every 4 years. So now, for young girls and boys to get to see women in sport so often, so accessible, so freely, I think that makes a massive difference.
Emily Clark, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
With more than 800 girls playing hockey in the Saskatoon Comets Female Hockey League, those involved say the Saskatchewan representation Clark brings to an international stage can make a big difference for aspiring hockey players.
As these new leagues get more popular and we start to see more products from our local communities make these leagues, I think it'll just fuel the fire that girls have to achieve something great.
Clark says that support from her hometown goes a long way.
I'm so proud to be from Saskatoon, and I feel the love. I see the messages. I'm bad at replying to my own family, so please don't take it personal if you send me a message and I don't get back to you. But no, just that it's felt and it's appreciated and never taken for granted.
Clark and the rest of Team Canada will be heading overseas soon with opening ceremonies for the Milano Cortina Olympic Winter Games scheduled to take place on February 6th. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
CFL Commissioner Stuart Johnston addressed the media yesterday discussing some of the proposed rule changes during the winter meetings. Among those recommendations, returning the continuous 35-second play clock to 20 seconds for the final 3 minutes, ensuring no lead is safe. That's what he's saying. If a team kicks the football through the end zone or hits the uprights, the other team will start on the 40-yard line. The replay center only jumping in for clear, obvious missed calls by officials for any coach's challenge, and there'll no longer be ties. They don't want to have those anymore. They say ties are like kissing your sister. If there is no winner after too many games, the game will continue with a new mini challenge.
Under a new format, then each team would get one shot at what we would call a 2-point conversion, or just the 2-point format where you're on the 3-yard line and you've got to get it into the end zone. Team A tries. If they're successful, Team B tries. If they're successful, you go again. If Team B is unsuccessful, then the game is over and Team A wins. Now, there are some details we still need to work out, and that'll happen over these next couple months before ultimately we make the final recommendation to the board.
All recommendations made this week would still need approval, of course. And there's good news about a new generation going old school. Young people putting down their devices and picking up knitting needles, replacing their scrolling with stitching. Emily Akita reports.
Swiping through social media, you'll find some of the newest trends this year are age-old hobbies.
I really want to get into knitting.
Crafting, puzzles, and baking, delighting a whole new generation.
I've recently discovered Mahjong.
The so-called grandma hobbies or analog activities are drawing young people away from doom scrolling.
I packed my needlepoint bag to take over to my grandparents.
Google searches for needlepoint reaching new highs in recent weeks.
My current work in progress.
While WIP, or Work in Progress Wednesday, now has more than 80,000 videos of crafters showing off their projects on TikTok.
Heard you want to start needlepointing, you just don't know where to begin.
It's part of 28-year-old Brooke Michio's New Year's resolution.
I realized all of the activities that I were doing were either on a computer, on the phone, like some sort of screen involved. And this is something that is completely separate from that.
Dude, you know what actually just rips in your 30s, dude, is like birds, dude.
Bird watching also taking flight among young people.
Why do you think there's this embrace of analog activities? I think we're just going back to the basics. It feels like it's something that kind of unites us across multi-generations.
Stitching new bonds with timeless hobbies. Emily Ikeda, NBC News.
The Olympic flame has appropriately hit the slopes in northern Italy. During his leg of the relay, a torchbearer skied down a snow-covered mountain, joined by cross-country skiers. It set off from Rome more than a month ago and has already been to Sicily, Naples, and Bari. It will arrive at Milan's San Siro Stadium on February the 6th. Already so close. Janelle, we're dealing with a lot of wind. You're not gonna light anything outside today.
Today is not the day. I'm not sure what you would be lighting outside, but today's not the day.
Burning barrel, maybe.
Burning barrel. I wouldn't recommend. It's going to be very, very windy out there. Let's take a look at what we're working with currently. We are up to 43 km/h wind speeds. Currently 2 degrees here in Regina and expecting to see a cloudier day. Over to Saskatoon now, 0 degrees, 28 km/h winds, and a little bit more sunshine than what we're seeing right here in the Queen City. Now let's dive into these wind gusts speeds. So as you can see here, hour by hour, we are expecting to see these speeds climb quite quickly and quite high. So this is all within this afternoon when we can start to see those wind gusts increase. Now this is for most of southern Saskatchewan. There still is that yellow warning for wind set out by Environment Canada. We are expecting to see that stay for today. Tomorrow those winds will start to slow down. Now for current temperatures, Buffalo Narrows and Spiritwood are sitting at 2 degrees. Nipawin 3 along with Hudson Bay, Melfort at 1 degree. The Battleford's at 2. Kindersley at 1, Swift Current right at that 0 mark. East End 2 degrees, Weyburn 1 and Estevan 0. For our highs today, the Battleford seeing 3 degrees, Swift Current 2, Prince Albert at 4, Yorkton and Estevan both at 2, Weyburn 3 and Moose Jaw 4. As you can see here, these flurries coming in and the wind speeds are province-wide. That is something that's going to be impacting the temperature. So despite us sitting at a very, very pleasant temperature as of currently, we are going to see that feel much cooler. For our 7-day forecast now in Regina, 1 degree and expecting that snow. 48 km/h winds is what we can expect. Starting tomorrow, we'll start to see that slow down a little bit to 39 km/h winds. On Saturday, -10, but more sunshine. Sunday, a little bit cooler at -17, but still gradually seeing these wind speeds come down. Now we'll start off next week at -15 with some sunshine, and Tuesday, -8. Some flurries are on the way. Over to Saskatoon now, 0 degrees and expecting to see that snow. 48 km/h winds are what we are seeing currently. Over on Friday now, -9, seeing some sun come out, but Saturday a cloudier day, -6. Over on Sunday, -17, starting to see more sunshine and slower wind speeds. On Monday, we're kicking off a brand new fresh week with -16.
New drone technology could change how search and rescue teams locate missing people faster and more accurately, and a Saskatoon company is at the forefront. As Carla Schinkerreich tells us, Dragonfly now partnering with an international rescue organization, showcasing how unmanned aircraft are becoming essential tools for public safety worldwide.
We have people from all over the world contacting us and approaching us.
And what makes this Saskatoon company that popular is this drone. And it's not just any drone, because it's helping save lives.
It really helps save a lot of time and effort from people on the ground.
It can pinpoint a missing person who might be in a remote area with this unique silver portion. It locates someone with a cell phone as far as 35 kilometers away.
That acts as a mobile cell tower to connect to and identify cell phones for missing persons.
And one of Europe's leading search and rescue organizations from Sweden is now signed on to purchase 2 of these Saskatoon drones, which can operate in harsh weather, adding to the reasons our province just makes sense to design, develop, and manufacture it all right here.
Operating in Saskatoon and Saskatchewan does give us a very good benefit of having a lot of wide open space to go do flight testing and development.
There are about 15 staff here doing most of the work, with a BC location added. In total, the company has about 50 staff.
Questions or curiosities around why Saskatoon, and our answer was always, well, that's where we live. So we're building the company and the technology where we live.
Dragonfly actually started as a model plane business in 1998 and developed with increased drone technology, proving its effectiveness. The Saskatoon Police Service has been using drones for years. They tell us that they're primarily used in searches for missing persons, to document and investigate collision scenes, to assist the fire department with aerial views of fire scenes, and they're used by special teams to assist in locating suspects.
Drone industry is always evolving, always developing.
For this company, the sky's the limit, with plans for more advancement in drone technology. Carla Schinkerreich, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Most areas of the province are dealing with above-seasonal temperatures this week. But as Mick Favel tells us, the freeze-thaw cycle can be a concern for those just trying to get around.
Pavement and puddles, a common sight in Regina and parts of southern Saskatchewan, unusual but welcome for some in mid-January. The above normal temperatures are encouraging more people to get outside.
I think we're really lucky and blessed to have this weather, to be out here going for a walk. And, you know, usually this time of year we're blizzardy and minus 30s.
I'll take it. I mean, any bit that makes it winter a little bit shorter is good. It's good for me.
According to Environment Canada, an upper ridge of high pressure is bringing in some warm Pacific air.
Temperatures are on the order of, 10 plus degrees above normal for this time of year. So it is very quite anomalous, but it's not unprecedented.
With temperatures hovering around 0 degrees, there are some concerns to pay attention to. Due to a wide range of thawing and freezing, ice can quickly build up once it begins to cool down, making sidewalks and roads slick.
We've responded to multiple calls this year of people slipping and falling, and typically, and a lot of times in elderly communities. So that's why we talk about making sure you have safe traction. You're alert and you're aware when you're out, even just walking, let alone driving.
Regina Fire and Protective Services is also warning the public to stay off frozen bodies of water and asking parents to watch for snow forts built with roofs, as they can be unstable right now. Environment Canada says the mild temperatures are expected to last a couple more days, with strong winds forecasted to hit southern Saskatchewan before cooling off again later this week. Mick Favel, CTV News, Regina.
This morning, new details about what led to actor Kiefer Sutherland's arrest.
I'm sorry for losing my temper, but I have lost my temper.
The designated survivor star was taken into custody early Monday in Hollywood after he allegedly threatened and assaulted an Uber driver. During the ride, TMZ reports Sutherland repeatedly asked the driver to pull over and let him out before threatening to kill him if he did not stop the car. The LAPD said the driver required no medical attention, but TMZ reports the driver claims Sutherland assaulted him with his hands. ABC News reached out to Sutherland's representatives but did not hear back. Investigators are now working to determine whether the driver understood Sutherland or whether there was some kind of language barrier.
I'm here. He's not. And I'm not going to make a move until I believe you're credible.
The actor, known for roles in 24,
Sometimes a little fella gets carried away.
Flatliners.
I can handle this situation, sir.
That A Few Good Men was arrested for making a criminal threat and released on $50,000 bail.
Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
This morning, we are meeting a real-life Bostonian whose iconic accent has thrown him into a social media limelight.
And he didn't even know he was being filmed by his girlfriend, but now he knows that millions find the way he's always talked to be delightfully fun. Here's ABC's Danny New.
Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
As we hear in Good Will Hunting, the quote-unquote Boston accent can feature an endearing immunity to the letter R.
I actually tried to make him say car, and he isn't capable of it.
Well, thanks to one video Casey posted, millions online now know her boyfriend has one of those thick Massachusetts accents. That boyfriend, Romano, says he did not even know she was recording as he tried this new popular trend called the Say the Word on Beat challenge.
She was like, oh my God, people love this video. I'm like, for what? I'm like, why?
Romano says he doesn't get it, but this video now has millions of views across social media. One commenter saying, I watched this 25 times and laughed harder each time. And another writing, this should be Boston's new ambulance siren.
Hey, you can't smoke in here, man. I'm not, Mark. I'm not smoking. You're smoking in here.
Of course, shows like Saturday Night Live have been poking fun at Bostonians for years. And Romano says this curiosity even followed him to college.
You know, you meet people from all over the country, the world in college, and they're like, just keep talking, kid, because I've never heard someone like you before.
And there are, of course, different words New Englanders may use, like instead of remote,
clicker.
Oh,
that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Clicker.
But how do Romano and Casey feel if you try out a Massachusetts accent in front of them? I pack the car, go to Dunks, get in a bubbler, eat a grinder with my guys.
No, I like that.
You actually sound exactly like my friend Mikey.
Yeah.
I lived there for 3 years, so I kind of cheated there. Also, for the record, Romano wanted to say that there is not just one Massachusetts accent in his opinion. There are at least 10, he says. In New York, for ABC News, I'm dating you?
I don't know about 10. Having lived in the area, I think there's probably just degrees of how sharp it is.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
Some park the car in the car park, and some don't. Right? Let's get on to our sidebar. Sidebar. Time for a sidebar. This band giving everybody a run for their money.
1, 2, 3.
This is a so-called boy band called Boythro.
Yes.
It's their first gig at a retirement home in LA. Yeah. What are their fans called again, Janelle?
So their fans, their dedicated fans are called the Throbbers.
Yeah. If you're wondering why that fellow's on Zoom, he's not allowed in the States.
Yes.
So he just still wants to be part of it. So there he is.
Yes.
For no apparent reason.
Yes.
If you don't know the difference between four-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, and all-wheel drive, like some people, this video might be just for you. I've seen a couple of different iterations of this. This woman works at a Honda dealership. There you go, rear-wheel drive.
Makes sense
Only
to
the
me.
back is pushing.
Clear as day.
Yeah.
Only the back. Oh.
The education we all needed.
Will you do this after the show? Will you demonstrate for
I would.
the general newsroom?
I would do that for all of you. Yes.
How this all happens?
Look out.
Look out. Look out indeed.
No, but I feel like this actually explains it really nicely.
Not bad.
I get it.
It's clear.
I get it.
There you go. Brings us to the end of the broadcast today. Remember, if you have a flight connecting through Toronto today, expect some delays. It's pretty messy out there. Warm here, though, so enjoy it if you're sticking around. We'll see you back here tomorrow on Your Morning Saskatchewan.